Stories, my stories. Someday, definitely for sure. Rashi. Hey, Siddharth, how are you doing? We were waiting for you. I was thinking
Hey,
that.
sorry for that.
You,
Yeah, so I had a slight network issue and I'm sorry for that. I'm absolutely fine. I hope you are too and great to be here.
yes, I'm absolutely fine, and it's a pleasure to have you with us. Not an issue. The entire globe is facing network issue. So, without even asking you, I was aware, and I did tell my viewers that I am sure that he is facing network issues. That's how it is. So, guys, without any ado, let's begin the interview with Siddharth Kantil. I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly, Siddharth.
No, I'm used to it. The name is Kanatil.
Kanatil. No. So I was confused whether I should say Kanatil or say Cantil. So I will say Kanatil. No, because name is very, very important. I think we all are a representation of our names. So yes, thank you so much for coming on board and on live with the Emotional Era. As we all know that Emotional Era is a platform for writers, and Tuesdays are a special day wherein we interview authors like you who are published author, and the entire story focuses on you. So I am going to be trying to talk less because I am the talkative one. So I'll try to talk less, and so let's begin. So guys, as I told you, Siddharth is a banker as well as a writer and an author of a published book, Amina Files. My book was published in April 2020, and it's doing absolutely amazing across the globe. So kudos to you for that.
Thank you.
You were doing work as well as you finally wrote a book and published it on your own. So that's confidence for me.
Thank you. Thank you so
So
much.
you take all the box. Confidence, confidence, confidence. Yes. So, so tell me, Siddharth, how did you start writing? How does writing occur to you?
So I started writing back in my school days. So back in school, I used to make all kinds of friends because I liked noticing people, knowing people from all facets of society. So outside school, there was a small park where the neighborhood kids used to come and play cricket. And there were all sorts of kids and who used to present themselves, present their opinions in all sorts of ways. Some would just shout and scream at the top of their lungs. Some would say it with subtle sarcasm. Some would just smile and do something about it and then smile again. That is when we realized they meant something else. So there are so many different ways of presenting the same thing. So that
Correct.
is how I realized, I can get n number of results just by changing the combination of characters and situations in my stories. So I used to think of these plots and introduce one character to a situation, end up with one result, and then introduce another character from the playground to the same situation and end up with a completely different result. And that is when I realized that it is big fun to be a story writer, and that is what I want to do. It was
Oh,
that
wonderful.
inspiring.
Which year was it? I'm like, what was your age?
My age would be around 15, 16, something like that.
Oh, so like, yeah, great. So you were a storyteller as a child also.
You can say that, yeah. I used to think of plots and explain the same things, and share it with people, and we had a good laugh.
Oh, great, great. So did you lie to your mother also?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Every other day.
Every other day. Okay. I'm sure your mother would have amazing stories to tell that this is the story that he cooked up the other day.
And she'd always
That's
be amazed at the amount of extra pocket money I always seem to have. It helps.
oh, great, great, great. It helps. Indeed. So you used to tell people stories and earn money from that?
Yeah, plus I would be given a certain amount of money to go shopping in the market, and then I used to come back. We all used to bargain for the vegetables and such. And when the
Mm-hmm.
rate we get is not the rate, we go back and tell, and that is like an age-old strategy. And things work out like that.
Oh, yes. I was that kid too. Chore kid. Okay, that's really nice. So you started at the age of around 15, 16, and I believe you started with short stories, right?
I started with short stories and poems. Yeah.
Okay, okay. You also do poetry. That I was not aware of. Okay, so you started with short stories. So how did this idea of coming up with a novel come into picture?
You see, I basically like the Victorian era. I think it's a time of great changes. It's a very happening time. That is the time when the West came and settled in Eastern societies in a big way to do business, in India and China especially. And India was opened up in a big way to the world, to a new world of possibilities. And out of my own interest, as I researched this time period, the Victorian time period more and more, the idea of the story emerged by itself, in the last 5 years, around 5 years
Oh,
back. Yeah.
okay, so that's like 5 years back. You thought you will write this book.
Yeah. Yeah, I
And
started writing 5 years back. Yeah.
wow, wow, and I really want to understand. Did you come up with the name of this book? Very
Yeah,
unusual.
I came. Yeah, I came up with the name around 6 months before publishing it.
Oh, is
So
it?
in the beginning, yeah, in the beginning, the title was something else. It was a tentative title that I had given, and
Okay.
I'm more of a pantser than a plotter. For most of our viewers who may not be aware of the terms, a plotter is a writer who has the whole story in his mind before starting to write, and a pantser is a writer who writes by the seat of his pants, who comes up with new plots and twists as and when he's writing spontaneously. So I am more of a
Oh,
pantser, so the plots and the twists, deepened and got more varied as and when I kept writing, and the research would be, carried on parallelly. So obviously
wow.
the plots would change and the characters and the final title had to change to match it accordingly. So,
Okay, okay. The difference between a serial writer and a movie writer.
yeah, one way of, yeah.
You know, I try to break it down so that सबको समझ में आ सके.
Okay.
You know, so these are common terms. So yes, so you are more of a serial writer, like
Yeah,
a
more of
pantser.
a serial. Yeah.
So that's interesting. Interesting. You know, because what was interesting about the book title was that it's more like a title for a poem, not for a
Yeah.
story. A Mina
Right.
Flies. Who will
Yeah.
think that, you know? So tell us a little about your book.
The book is a historical fiction set in the 1850s, and it spans across Old Delhi, that is Shahjahanabad, and the British colonies in Mauritius and the neighboring islands, and also Victorian London, and across the high
Okay.
seas. So the major players of that era were the East India Company, the company officials, the zamindars, the French plantation owners in the Mauritius and the Reunion Islands nearby, and the members of parliament in London. These were the main players, and the story goes around between these players. So
Okay.
the story is approached from all these various angles, and the reader would get an idea how life used to be, how business used to be conducted, how revenues used to be collected across the colonies, and how life used to be in the Indian subcontinent at that time through a Mina
Okay.
flies. And the
Okay.
title "A Mina Flies" is symbolic. The Mina does not mean a literal mina. It means a particular character of the novel, and a Mina Flies has a meaning to it, as the reader would understand while reading it.
Okay, okay, okay. And Myna is a bird which is you know, probably native to the subcontinent, Indian, India, and a little bit of Mauritius and around.
Yeah, previously Myna was a native bird of the subcontinent and mostly of Asia, and now it has spread all the way to Australia and Africa and other places also. It's a
Okay,
amazingly
okay.
territorial, aggressive bird. This I found out during my research.
Yes, yes, I had actually happened to read a few reviews of your book, and all your readers are telling it's a highly researched book, and you
Yeah,
know, and that kudos to you again, because you know,
thank you.
having a banking job and then writing.
Mhm.
So, when did you get your job? When did you start working? How many years ago?
I started working around 10 years back, and again,
Okay.
to find the time to write and to research, we have only the weekends, almost every other
I
weekend, not
know,
even every
I know.
weekend. So,
Mm-hmm.
and staying in Bangalore, it took me like 3 hours to commute to and fro from office, 1.5 hours one way, So all that time I'll be sitting in the office cab doing nothing much. So I took that time for research, and I set aside the weekends whenever I could to write. So that is why it took such a long time, 5 years.
Oh, great. So you totally utilized your time in the cab and everything, right?
Yeah. I mean, more than once the cab driver and the co-passengers would look at me. I mean, trying to understand what this office-going guy is doing, studying 1850s behavior, 1850s dress, clothes, and such. So they think I'm fine. So I just smile and keep on doing it.
Okay. But then, who was your biggest supporter during this time? Because this 5 years would have been difficult.
I actually have not, I did not share much with people. I did not tell almost anybody about that I am writing a novel. And I got married 3 years back. So after
Oh,
marriage, you're staying with your spouse. So obviously things will come to light. So I shared it with her, and she was completely supportive. And the last 3 years, with her support, which helped a lot, I finished it. So she was my greatest
wonderful.
support. Yeah.
Okay, great, awesome. And how did it the idea of self-publishing? Because see, self-publishing is cost incurring to you, okay?
Yes.
And so how did you come up with the idea of self-publishing? Why didn't you approach any publisher to do it?
Because I was on a tight budget to start with, and after finishing
Mm-hmm.
my manuscript, I did a few rounds of editing on my own, and then I got a fine professional editor to get it edited. So again, that would
Okay.
cost a handsome sum of money. And
Mm-hmm.
after that, if I have to get it published, either traditional, there are two options in India to get it published, as you would know. It's either the traditional route or the self-publishing.
Mm-hmm.
Right, so
Okay.
traditional would not cost money to be published, but then they take away all copyrights of our work, and they'll have the final call on editing and the further additions and such. So the whole look of the story would be in their hands, and the author would not have much say. Plus, the royalty amount is much reduced. And if it
Okay.
is
Okay.
self-publishing, the other route,
Mm-hmm.
again, I mean, we'll have to pay for publishing, and then
Mm-hmm.
all the marketing, everything has to be done by the author. And even though we retain most of the copyright matters,
Mm-hmm.
we would not receive much help in marketing and stocking and warehousing and such. So
Okay.
I found out the best method for me, at least suitable for me, would be Amazon KDP. And
Mm-hmm.
I just uploaded my finished manuscript onto Amazon KDP, and
Mm-hmm.
for free. And within a few hours, the review process was complete, and the ebook was live. So it was as simple
Wonderful.
as that for me. Thank you.
Oh, great. Yes, the Amazon, seller place, I would say. I'm not just breaking it down. It is pretty, simplified for everything. That's my personal experience too. That's
Mine
great,
too.
great, great. Great. That makes both of us then. So, what was the biggest challenge in this journey of 5 years?
The biggest challenge is what I'm facing right now, to marketing and to increase my reach to the potential readers, to
Okay.
make time, to create time in our schedule, and to sit in a room and keep writing, doing the research, everything is the easy part. Because
Mm-hmm.
thankfully we live in the age of information, where all the information regarding any time period, not just the Victorian era, is at our fingertips, right? So we can
Okay.
just research and write at our convenience, and that is not really
Mm-hmm.
tough. And after
Oh,
finishing, we get a proper editor and a cover designer, and complete the work, make it presentable, and then upload
mm-hmm.
it with the help of KDP or other Amazon platforms. Even that is not really tough. What is the tough
Okay.
part, the biggest challenge that you asked, is definitely the marketing. And to,
Mm-hmm.
once the product is in the market, you have to get out there, and you have to, sell it, to make it simple.
Keep selling.
That is
Eh,
that is the toughest part.
for a banker, for a person who is already into, the most difficult kind of sales, you know, that the world has to offer, that is money sales, and, and still you find it difficult, then guys, so this is something which you have to accept, that selling your book is gonna be a little difficult Talk about, moving ahead. I want to talk about the recent award that you have received. First of all, congratulations for receiving the Dij Awards and would you like to talk about it? What was the nomination process, and how was your book selected?
Yeah, I mean, one fine evening, a very nice lady called Simran calls me up and says, "Sir, your book has been nominated for so and so award show, and that is affiliated with the Literary Mirror Lit magazine." I was very happy and I said, "Yeah, I'd like to proceed with the nomination." And
Mm-hmm.
after 1 or 2 weeks, Mr. Nitish Kumar, the editor-in-chief of the Literary Mirror magazine, calls me up and says,
Mm-hmm.
"Siddharth, congratulations, your book is shortlisted and so and so." And again, I was very happy with that. So it was amongst a pool of 50 nominations, and the judges were the judge panel was composed of veteran authors from the UK and other publishing personalities.
Wow, that's really amazing. Because I know when it comes to getting reviews and getting accepted in awards, people say awards are easy to get, but the fact is people really don't see this hard work. And getting reviewed by such critical authors who have been in this writing arena for a very long time, I think kudos to you once again.
Thank
That's
you
an
so much.
achievement. That's real
Thank you.
achievement. So, tell us one more thing. What I wanted to understand. When have you ever published your stories as a child?
No, I have not. In fact, I've lost most of the short stories that I had written back then. Back then, I had a habit of traveling a lot and traveling alone. I would just come out
Mm-hmm.
of my home. If I'm bored at home, I just come out, get onto a local train, and
Mm-hmm.
travel into the rural areas for 3 or 4 hours. And I'd notice each of the stations passing by. And whenever I'd notice one station behind which the scenery is more agreeable, or I notice something that I like, I'd just get off without even noticing the name of the station. I'd
Wow.
get off and I'd just walk out of the station, and I'd notice people and the different kind of accents. Accents change every few kilometers, right? So I'd notice the
Yes.
different accents and the different kind of jalebis and other sweets they're selling, and the various mannerisms of my co-passengers and such. And I'd make up poems and short stories on that. And when I'm done with them, I'd write them on a piece of paper, and then we had this plastic Pepsi bottles and Fanta bottles then. I'd finish
Yes.
the stories on piece of paper, then I'd roll it and I'd put it in a plastic bottle and I'd throw it into a river or a stream, hoping that it will reach the hands of whichever reader who is destined to read it. And I'd write on the paper that if you like the story, please put it back so the next chosen reader gets to read it. Makes no sense, but it
Oh my
gave me immense
God.
happiness.
There is an entire concept wherein people throw notes, they throw
Yeah,
items, since they put it in a bottle and they throw it in the sea. I never knew
yeah.
somebody in India practiced it. Thank you for telling me that. Oh
Yeah,
my God, that's
I would
really
like to
interesting.
I would like to add that, going back, I regret doing it because plastic bottles are not environmentally responsible. Apart from that, I really like it.
I know that. I think we were born approximately the same time in the same era. So you can probably, there were few things which were, not sensitive then. It was not a sensitivity issue then, and we were not even aware. And so if you were throwing out those plastic
Yeah,
bottles, your intention was totally right. So I don't
yeah,
think that can be blamed. We really never knew that we would actually be living on a dump of plastic the way it is happening now.
absolutely.
We couldn't
Yeah,
see it. We couldn't foresee. And I'm sure you were a child then.
yeah, true. Thank
So
you.
I
Good
think
job.
most of your childhood was in Kolkata.
Yes, I spent the first 25 years of my life in Calcutta. After completing my MBA, I moved out to work in various cities in Gurgaon, Delhi, Hyderabad, Chennai, and now Bangalore.
How come, they moved from Kolkata? Your parents stay in Kolkata itself?
Yeah, my parents are based out of Kerala. They migrated to Calcutta around 40 years back. At
Oh,
that time, Kolkata was like the Bangalore of today. It was the city of opportunities. You want to build your career, you could Calcutta, and it was Calcutta back then, as you know. So they migrated to Calcutta, and I was born and raised there. Yeah, I did my schooling
okay,
there.
okay. Oh, that's nice. Because see, Calcutta is a land of literature, and a lot of people write there. So, do you think
Yeah.
there was a lot of influence from Calcutta on you?
Yeah, absolutely. I used to love the history of the place, and Calcutta was like the New York of today in the Victorian age. All the way from London, from Paris, from all over Europe, gentlemen used to come to Calcutta to make their fortunes and go back. Calcutta was like the most developed city of the subcontinent back then. And the traces of that glorious history you can still find in abandoned mansions in the city lanes. So I've been to those
And
places
Victoria
and I'm greatly
Palace.
influenced. Absolutely, Victoria Memorial. Yeah.
Yes. So, and anybody else in your family who writes?
Yeah, I have a distant uncle who writes. He's based in Kerala and he's an established Malayalam language writer.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay, okay. So, have you ever thought about writing in regional languages?
No, because my grasp on regional languages are not as strong as they should be. And I'm ashamed to say that being an Indian, but then we've studied in English medium schools, and that is a weakness that we have. So I'd like to do that, but I'll have to brush up on my regional language skills for that.
I know, God. That
Yeah,
reminds me of Hindi counting. I am still so
yeah.
bad.
Me too.
So yes, that is the problem of English medium. Everybody started talking in English,
Yeah.
and I used to have those literal problem of if somebody used to say 1.5 rupiya, and I'm like, what is it, sawa rupiya? And I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm just looking for clues. What do you mean to say, uncle? आप बोलिए one plus
Absolutely.
कितना?
Yeah.
I still remember. I know that concept of 1.5 rupiya and 100 rupiya is no more applicable in today's world. But back then, I
Yeah.
used to buy a boomer and something.
I can totally relate.
That's true. So, yes, I think with that can happen. So you must write something in your regional language too, and I hope that you do that. And
One day, definitely.
or we should come up with a Grammarly for in regional languages because
That's
we
a good
need
idea.
language. Yes, we should come up with a Grammarly for regional languages. I have a very, very strong feeling. So the day I discovered Hindi typing on my Android phone, I was so happy because now I can actually write poetry in Hindi. I had a very strong feeling I might forget the alphabets, the Hindi
I
alphabet, because I don't write Hindi anymore.
Absolutely. I mean, language is like, we have to keep using it to retain our fluency and, grasp of it. Very true.
So for a writer, tell me how important it is to have, because a lot of people say that in order to write, you must have a very, very strong control on language. Do you feel the same thing?
Yeah, I mean, we have to have a strong grasp of language, but that does not mean if you're an English language writer, you should know all the words that you would only find in a dictionary, like Shashi Tharoor style. That is not what I mean, but you need to know the right words that match the right feelings, that convey the correct feelings. The thing is, for a storyteller, for a novelist, we need to have two separate skills, so a skill of an author and a skill of a writer. An author is one who comes up with a concept, comes up with the framework of the story, and the writer is one who conveys it through the correct words. So both these separate skills should be present in the same person to be a novelist. Now, when it comes to ideas or new concepts for story, there is nothing unique. All sorts of stories in on all genres and all types have already been written in some language or the other. So there is no absolutely path-breaking new concept to come up with. So the only new unique thing that can be done now is innovation in presentation, because each of us is unique. in our experiences and perception and presenting. So get something new, that is through presentation. That is why the writing
Okay.
skill comes. So for a novelist today, I'd say uh, being an author is like 40% or 45% of it, and being a writer, knowing how to convey the concept correctly and innovatively is the 5% of it. So that is how important writing is. So when we take this into context, what you asked, having the correct grasp, strong grasp on language, that I mean, we should know all kinds of simple words that the reader can easily understand, relate to, plus grasp the exact meaning that you intended to convey. So I
Okay.
feel
Okay.
really tough
Great.
words like
Great.
what, yeah. So you get the gist.
Yes, I get it. I'm so happy that you were so passionate about this topic. I know it just touched the right chord, I believe. So,
It did.
after working for 10 years, as a banker, and, I think as of 5 years, you had already spent being a banker. How, suddenly thinking of writing a book, you know, how did that happen? I know you did not tell it to anybody, but what made you write a novel?
The stress made me write. That is what has always been motivating me to write right from my school days. Back in school, the exam
Okay.
stress or the peer pressure used to force me to write. Writing was a release for me, so it gave me a lot of solace and peace of mind, and it kept me happy. So now, when I started working, the office pressure and family pressure and other financial planning and all those things keep climbing up on your mind. All those things, the weight keeps increasing, and I discovered that if I start writing, I really feel I feel like I'm, you know, I feel like a much lighter person, and I feel more optimistic, and it gives me great pleasure to write. So that is what really
Wonderful.
got me to write.
Okay, okay. So, and tell us any of the stories, when, and did any of your author, reader, hello, am I audible?
Right, Vandana. Yeah, we were off for a couple of seconds. Can you please come again with the question?
Okay, so I'll just repeat the question. The question was, tell us, any of your reader, did they reach out to you with a feedback, negative feedback in person?
Yeah, so many of them did. I am active on Facebook and Instagram both, and I've got an amazing amount of friends there. I prefer to call them friends rather than readers, and I find very happy to note that most of them have had a very nice time with the book, with the story and such, and most of them are waiting eagerly for the sequel, which
Oh,
motivates me to write
it's a
further.
sequel also. Okay. Oh, I
Yeah,
told you
it's
you are a
supposed to be a
series
duology.
writer.
Yeah.
Duology.
And so yeah, I got a few constructive criticisms as well, and I'm lucky to get those, and it's again a learning curve, and I'm looking forward to improve my writing using that, so that's a good thing.
Wonderful, wonderful. In fact, I think most of the time when I write anything, I look for constructive criticism more rather than appreciation. I'm like, please tell me where I'm faulting. It's
Yeah,
very, very difficult to see your own mistakes.
absolutely, absolutely. I mean, this has been my experience, Vandana, that after finishing my manuscript, I had edited it 3 or 4 times myself, and then I got a professional editor, Divya Balaji, and within
Uh-huh.
just a week, she got back to me with so many mistakes that I had missed, and she could spot that mistake from a mile off. So it is very important to
Okay.
get somebody else edit your work, and later, if you're not having beta readers, it's very important to have the opinion of your after it is published. Feedback is very important, especially for new authors.
Wonderful. How did you get into writing so much? But basically, how long is your novel? Tell me how many pages.
It comes to 524 pages. It has a word count of 1,34,000, and Kindle would tell you that it will take 10 hours and a few minutes to complete. and it's long. I tried to shorten it, but it's a historical fiction, and I wanted to give the reader the picture of life back in the Victorian era from various angles, so that if I shortened it, it would have left out critical parts, so I could not do that. So that is why.
That's perfectly fine. The okay, yes. So that's perfectly fine. What happens is that that's what is my question. I think as a person who has started writing, because this platform is for writers from, as I told you, some people have just started writing. Some people are thinking about writing a book. So when they watch a video, I usually ask this favorite question of mine. Like for me, I'm scared of writing a book. I don't know how will I write those many words. I can write, but when it comes to writing a novel, oh my god, that gives me a nightmare. Like I can't write that much. I have serious challenges. Did you ever think on these lines? Because you had written short stories before, writing one long novel.
No, I did not have those thoughts, probably because I did not have any expectations as such. 5 years back when I started writing A Myna Flies, I honestly, I did not have plans to get it published. I first and foremost, I write for myself. I write for my own happiness and peace of mind. And it's only after 1.5 years that I realized that the story is going good, the plot is going good, and I am on to a good thing now. If a number of readers actually enjoy what I write, they have a good time with it, that's a bonus for me. So why not, publish it? That is after 1.5 years, the thought of occurring to, the thought of getting it published is occurring to me. So I had no expectations as such as to whether I'll be able to finish it or whether it will turn out good or something. Whenever I had the time, I just opened my laptop and started my research and started, building the plot and such. And the words on a good weekend, the words would write themselves. The plot would open up, twists would introduce themselves to me. And as I said, I'm a pantser, so when I write, the plots and twists open up spontaneously when I write on good days. On bad days, nothing happens. So on good days, I just I just sit and watch the world build itself, just being a silent
Yeah.
witness. The words, and that is very exciting, and that is why probably such thoughts did not occur to me. The expectations of the book being presentable at the end, of the readers appreciating it, of the book making money, such thoughts never occurred to
You are already making money.
me. Yeah,
So
yeah.
that's obviously, yeah, I know. A lot of us, because I have my friends who love writing, and they think that they might write someday a book or something like that, but
Okay.
they're not really, just like you. I write for myself, okay, and so they are also of the same lot. We write for ourselves. So I think this question is very, very pertinent for them because I believe you have to start writing first. Once you start writing, your story will tell you whether you want to get published or not, right?
That is how it worked out for me. Yes, I'll have to agree.
Okay, great. So tell us any story from your life around your writing, or some funny instance that you would like to share with our viewers.
I don't know whether I'd come across as a good student, but my first short story was written in class in the 7th standard, and I believe it was the geography class. And it was right after the lunch break, and we all had a heavy lunch, and we were feeling sleepy, and it was a hot day. And the geography teacher, his name was Gabriel sir, Gabriel. So he was going on and on about floodplains and rift valleys and correct conditions for rice cultivation and wheat cultivation and whatnot. And half the class was asleep, the other class were, drawing on the benches or, writing on the
Monsoon
desks.
Asia.
Yeah.
I remember the book name.
Yeah,
Oh God.
so so that is how my first short story was. I remember the story was Gabriel sir getting kicked out of school by the headmaster and living his life as an outcast in some floodplain, surviving on the basis of his rice cultivation skills. And finally, a bear got him, and that is how the story ended. So I had
Ooh.
written it So that was my first short story.
Wow, wow, amazing. So you were always into thrillers. You wanted to kill people around you and scare them down.
It made me happy.
Because you couldn't do it in your real life, you did it in your stories, right?
Absolutely. Police
Oh,
can catch me
see,
down.
it's a sun is gonna come back to you for sure.
I'll be waiting.
That's great. It was really amazing talking to you. So, I also wanted to understand before we end the show, I usually ask one simple question. What are your key things which you would like to tell a budding author, a learning author, before they actually go ahead and publish their books? What are the few things?
You see, one good thing for a new budding author would be to read, and read some more. I said to few of my friends also who want to start writing. It's only when we read that we identify the genres or the kind of stories that appeal to us more. Once we identify that, we'll start reading it more, and plots and ideas will come to us. While reading, there are many things we learn subconsciously, like character development, plot construction, story arc, character arc, and such. These things we can learn subconsciously while reading. So while we are doing that, reading a genre that we love, then ideas for that genre will start developing without us knowing. So it will greatly help in the writing process. And another thing that I'd like to tell them as a published author is a novel or a story can take any amount of time, from a few weeks to a few years, depending on the kind of story they're aiming for. So if it's a long drawn process like a novel, like mine took 5 years, it is a long, lonely struggle that goes unnoticed by everybody except the author or whoever the author is staying with. And we have to be prepared for that. It's a game of commitment and perseverance. And even after that, if it will pay out, financially, it's anybody's guess. So you have to keep at it without any expectations as such. If you find love in writing, if it keeps you happy, you do that. Apart from that, it's better to have a very realistic view of a post-published author's life.
Great, great, great. Okay, so I think they were, some important. Who is your favorite author then? I didn't ask this question to you.
I like so many authors like Sir A.C. Doyle and Michael Crichton, Wilbur Smith and Tom Clancy. In India, I like Jhumpa Lahiri, Amitabh Ghosh and Chitra Divakaran. There are so many great authors. Taking one is not possible. The list goes on.
Okay, okay. So I would ask you the genre that you like.
There are few: historical fiction, horror, thriller, political thrillers, and such.
Okay, okay, great. Someday I am sure you would share a dice with one of them. I just hope that.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
May God bless you.
That's my style of saying, may God bless you. I think professionally we all, we would be more happy sharing the dice with our, idols in life rather than God.
Absolutely. And I am looking forward to your book as well.
Oh my God, my book will be mostly a collection of poetries, because although I dream to write stories, but I will have to hire a ghost author then.
Then I am sure there will be a couple of award-winning poetries, and all the best for that.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And thank you so much for joining us today and sharing your journey as an author and learnings with us. And, although your book has been published in this year itself, I'm so happy that it is doing so well. It has already been recognized. So just keep faith. I know, just keep pushing. And I'm sure you will get the right. A lot of times, if you see, many books, like many movies also, do not get the real attention in the real time. Okay. However, they get a lot of attention in some time. So give it some time. Right now, the world is not probably in the correct mindset also. Everybody is already thrilled to buy Corona. and nobody can trump Corona apart from Trump.
So true.
So yes, there are only two things that's sailing these days. So thank you so much, guys. Do follow Siddharth Kanatil on Instagram, and I think you also have a Facebook page. Why don't you tell us about it before we leave?
Yeah, my Facebook page is Siddharth353, and I do reviews of various other books. I give preference to Indian books so that Indian authors like me get more visibility. Here, I mean, as a reader, even I have read foreign authors more than Indian authors, and foreign authors enjoy more of the market space than Indian authors. Now, if we
That's
as Indians don't encourage our own authors, who else would encourage them? So I focus more on Indian authors in my reviews on my page, on my Insta page also, and readers here would find some really interesting reads on my page. So they are welcome.
Oh, wonderful.
Siddharth
Yes, I have actually. Siddharth353 on Facebook, guys, and storyteller underscore Sid on Instagram. Please do follow these pages and help Siddharth, reach out the right people. In case you are looking for some feedback, advice, guidance, I think Siddharth would be there to help you. Through Emotional Era, we wanted to bring Siddharth because Siddharth has actually gone ahead and written a book which is a historical thriller, not something what many people think about writing. And we also wanted to give you the flavor that, even if you're thinking of doing something which is not happening, like everybody is writing a love story is not required. You can definitely have a different taste and you can think about it and write the story on it. And if it is a good book, believe me, there would be readers.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much, Siddharth.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Great to be here. Thank you.
Pleasure connecting. Thank you so much. Bye-bye. All the best.